It's football season, and if you were watching the highlights of the games last weekend, you might have caught this viral video of a Panther. Now, this is ahead of the Carolina football game on Sunday, leaping around the stadium. Well, we've got the company behind this very, very cool technology, and for that, we want to bring in Jon Slusser. He's the owner of the Famous Group. And Jon, lots of people were very excited about this. Certainly, it was all over social media over the past several days. I guess just talk to us just about what goes into something like this and what you see as the future of this when it comes to sports.
Yeah, thanks so much. This has been a wild few days for our company. We're thrilled at the response because it has taken a lot of work. And you talk about what it takes. It takes a lot of people, a lot of time, and a lot of technology to put this together because it's really a video game that we're superimposing into a live broadcast. And that is a complicated feat. But the results have been amazing. I mean, people from all over the world have been contacting us and wondering how this is done and also wanting to do it themselves for their events. So we couldn't be more thrilled.
I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But first, because I know you did something similar with the Baltimore Ravens a couple of years ago before the pandemic. But how's what we saw last Sunday? How is that different from what we saw from you guys 2 years ago?
Well, yeah, the Raven was a great viral hit as well, and people really liked it. I think that one was one of our first times using mixed reality, and that was a night game, and so I think the realism of the lighting and things really threw people off. As you can see here, it looks really great. I think the difference with this one is the interaction with the environment. When you see these 3D characters in a live shot, seemingly interacting with the stadium, with the field, with the goalposts, it really throws you off. People haven't really seen that before, especially knowing it's a live broadcast. So, and you can move that camera. The camera operator can move that in any direction they want to look around this world. So it's a really, really complex but really cool effect. And it wasn't easy, but you got to give credit all to the Panthers. I mean, they're the ones who've taken the risk. They're the ones who believed in this technology and believed in us, and it paid off because it's gotten a lot of attention, and we're really proud of it.
Jon, how long does something like this take to create? Are we talking a couple of weeks? Are we talking a couple of months, a year? I mean, just give us a better sense of the time frame of something like this.
Yeah, something like this would take about 2 months, about 8 to 10 weeks of planning from the creative idea to the building it out ahead of time, building the models, and then showing up on site. So it takes a lot of hardware. It takes a lot of preparation on site and working with the live production team. Because although it's not there in the stadium, meaning if you're sitting in your stands, you don't see it. You see it through the broadcast. You see it through the Jumbotron, through all the screens on the arena. That's one of the most common questions. Can I see this if I'm at the stadium? And the answer is yes. If you look in the Jumbotron, you can see it. If you look at the screens. But it is an augmented reality. It's called mixed reality because it's interacting with the environment. But this effect is it's definitely new, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of people on the ground to coordinate this. And because it's a live shot, the camera operators are part of this story. They have to follow this object in the environment, which in this case is the Panther. So it's not, there's a lot of elements to it, including a lot of show elements in the live broadcast.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it. Jon, you mentioned that you're hearing from people all over the world. Are other teams within the league interested? I mean, or is this something that you could potentially bring to other leagues, maybe the MLB or the MLS, the NBA, just in terms of where we could see this going in the future?
Yeah, we have seen unbelievable interest, and it's so fun to be in the middle of this kind of storm. But yes, we are currently working with the Texans on doing a lot of different mixed reality things for them. Last weekend did a really cool sponsored race that is in NRG Stadium. It looks really cool. So this has the capability of more than just doing entertainment elements. Like this Panther's a lot of fun and people love it, but it's also can be used for business. It is sponsorship and promotion. It can be, you can have a blimp that's not really in the scene. You can have virtual signage. We can take parts of the arena that are not utilized and turn that into product placement or cover it up if it's ugly, or cover up maybe seats that aren't sold and looks kind of ugly in the shot. So what you're seeing here, and I think this is what's so cool, and the reason this is going to be the future of graphics and animation within live events, is that we can manipulate the environment to the point where you don't know what's real and what's not. These are video game elements rendered live in a live scene. And what we can do with that, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The technology is way ahead of the creative, meaning that we just have a panther running around the stadium. When you really start thinking about the creative possibilities for both entertainment, sponsorship, promotion, information, and data that can be put into the scene, it's very, very powerful technology, and I think it's going to be it'll be the standard moving forward in broadcast.
Jon, talking about being in the early innings of this, I guess your conversations with various CEOs, various executives, when you're looking to do business with them, what has the reception been like? Can people visualize this yet, or is this something that people are still trying to wrap their heads around?
People have a hard time understanding what they're looking at, and because if you're there live, you get it. If you're watching a live broadcast, you get it. But to see it like in these clips afterwards, you're thinking, well, hey, I've seen 3D animation before. What's so big? Because if you can do this in post, who cares? But the fact of the matter is this is a live shot. This is for live events, and everything can be reactive. In other words, it does take a second to figure out what's going on and why this is special if you're seeing it on YouTube or something like that. So yeah, it needs to be explained to people. But moments like this with the Panther have really opened up people's eyes to what is possible with mixed reality.
Certainly something that looks very cool, with something that we are excited about. Jon Slusser, thanks so much for taking the time to join us, owner of the Famous Group. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing more of those cool types of videos over the next several weeks.